Welcome to the first ever episode of the We're All Idiots podcast. I am your idiotic host, Jeremiah Doyle. I am joined by our JRPG idiot, Anthony Trujillo.
Really?
Our FPS idiot, Aaron Smith.
What are you talking about, you bloody wanker?
And our Nintendo idiot, Mikey McLaughlin.
I like trains and stunfisks.
Fair enough. So, what we're actually going to do is we're going to go around and we're going to introduce ourselves, tell you guys a little bit about ourselves. What we're going to do is our name, our favorite game. What else did you guys want to do?
Gamers we're playing.
All right.
And where we're from.
If you want to.
Yeah, if you feel
So, like I said before, I'm your idiotic host, Jeremiah Doyle. I'm from Colorado, and my favorite game is Pokemon Sapphire, the original one, not the remake. I have put more time into that than most people put into the yearly Call of Duty. I've restarted it. I've done everything in it. So, and then what I'm playing right now is Persona 3 Portable right now. So, what about you, Anthony?
Okay, so my name is Anthony Trujillo, and I am from Oregon, Bend, Oregon, actually. So I'm going to go with my favorite game. It's basically the same from the first episode, which is Persona 3. Love it. Great game. Love the dungeons. The characters, depending. Except Stupe, or Junpei, whatever you want.
Fuck Stupid.
Yeah, fuck it. And the game I'm recently playing right now is another run-through of Persona 4. Can't wait to get back on that. I'm almost done with it, too. So I'm pretty happy.
Nice. Aaron?
I am Aaron Smith. You know who it is. I am from Texas. And my favorite game is Persona 3. But the game I'm currently playing is Destiny.
All right. What about you, Mikey?
My name is Mikey McLaughlin. I am actually joining today in spite of another individual that suddenly got shot in the face and is currently at home resting. I am from Washington. My favorite game is Pokemon Emerald, actually. The story twists from Ruby and Sapphire, the new introductions to all these new mechanics of the Battle Frontier won me over as my favorite game of all time. What I'm currently doing is I am religiously playing Fire Emblem Awakening and hope to hit another 120 hours in one save file.
All right. Now what we're going to do is we each brought our own news story, and we're going to share it with each other, and we're going to give you guys our reactions to it.
Sharing is caring.
Exactly. Sharing is caring, Aaron.
As long as it's not needles.
Fair enough. All right, well, we're going to start with Anthony's news. So, what do you got for us?
Well, today, guys, I got this great news, actually. It's from GameStop, and they're actually making a scholarship for people who have worked there over a year and have kept a 3.0 GPA.
Really?
And it's really great. I feel like it helps helps people who get the scholarship is from financial aid, academic performance, demonstrate leadership in school, and work experience in community activities and a career or educational goals. So I like how that can help people who work at GameStop have like a scholarship that they can use for colleges.
Here.
So
Fair enough.
what do you think, Aaron?
I think that is honestly a great opportunity. It combines two things that I think many love, gaming and having a job.
Making money.
Having a job, playing games, and just like having educational opportunity. Because it's like, as far as I know, a 3.0 GPA is actually not that hard to get. It's just B's and A's.
And C's. Don't forget C's. C's earn degrees!
Agreed.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, that's pretty much cutting it. But no.
All right.
But yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for kids that really like gaming and have a job. Now, did they actually say like how much money was going to go towards it, or just because I know they have like $1,000, $5,000?
So basically, the scholarship would be like $2,500 each.
That's a
Oh,
nice
that's actually really nice.
Yeah.
For each
That's
person who's awarded
fabulous.
that.
Because
So-
I remember going kind of hunting for like scholarships in high school, but a lot of them required you to do this long ass essay.
Yep.
That really it's like, okay, I'm pretty much having to do something I don't want to do. While the GameStop, it's like if I were working at GameStop, I'd be like, all right, I have an opportunity just from working. And I really wish there were more scholarships like that besides just send in an essay or tell us why this or just do some stuff that really is not needed. So, in all, I think it's great. What do you think, Mikey?
From reputation I've heard about working at GameStop, it's not exactly the quote-unquote best experience you'll get. However, this entire idea of a free scholarship for, working at GameStop and to help you continue your education, that's fantastic. It's a great idea. I mean, Jeremiah over here has shown me the love and joy of going to GameStop when employees that draw Diancie with giant testicles and Pikachu smoking weed with Doritos on a poster. So, yeah, great. What do you think, Jeremiah?
Personally, I love this idea. I've wanted to work at GameStop for years. I mean, you get a discount on games, and this is just like another reason to work there, really.
Here.
You make money, you get a discount on games, sometimes you even get them for free, and you literally spend your day talking about video games. And I don't know, I just love that very idea. So, what was your reaction, Anthony? When
My
you read
reaction
this?
to it?
I'm curious.
So I just want to throw this out. It's going to start accepting applications May 1st. And
So it's a new one.
it's a new program.
Oh, okay.
New
I thought this was old.
Yeah, new program. New program's going to start May 1st for new applicants. And I like the name, Power to the Scholars.
Ooh, that's cool.
Power to the Scholars. That's going to be the title of it. I personally like it because you don't just go to a job and you feel like you're not going to get something out of it other than money. Of course, you get money out of it.
Yeah.
But I like how they pretty much promote and say, hey, if you go to school, you get a scholarship and you can get some money towards that, which will help you further your degree in whatever you want to do, video game designing or anything that has to do with video games or not, whatever you want to do. I'm happy that GameStop's going to support that in its entirety. So I stand by it.
All right. Cool. All right, Aaron. What's your news?
My news story is from VentureBeat, and the title is Gaming's Top 25 Public Companies Generated $54.1 billion in revenue last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Woo!
Now, the article goes on to say that in 2014, the top 25 public companies got $54.1 billion, but it's a 10.4% year over year to 2013. Which means, even though many say 2014 was a bad year for gaming, it put in 10.4% more money than in 2013, which I found very surprising.
Yeah.
And it says that these 25 public companies made 65% of the $83.6 billion in just the marketing alone. Not from the actual games, but just from the marketing, the commercials, just advertisements.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it even goes on to say that the owner of Riot Games and its free-to-play mega popular online arena League of Legends.
Yeah,
Mikey.
for those of you who
Dancing.
can't see us, Mikey's dancing because he plays LOL.
I'm a
Yeah.
big LOL geek. Excuse my dancing.
League of Legends led in terms of money, and it also includes Sony, Microsoft, EA, Activision, and it also included Apple and Google.
Really?
Yeah,
Mobile games.
Right.
yeah, the
right,
mobile
right.
games, yeah, and it said that they're planning on putting $7.2 billion back into the market for the developers going just like worldwide, not just to U.S. games, but like JRPGs and just foreign games also.
Sweet.
Good.
Maybe we'll get that Mass Effect trilogy remake.
Yeah, right.
So, Mikey, what do you think about that?
To be honest, and I'm not sounding I don't want to sound biased when I say this, but it doesn't honestly surprise me that Rito is top notch right now in the money market, because, I mean, when you look at the events they do, I mean, League of Legends is probably right now, besides Counter-Strike, the top global play competitive scene game of the moment. I mean, starting in like 2 weeks, they're going to do their mid-season All-Stars match where each top team from each region that plays, which is like NA, EU, Korea, etc., they gather up, they do a giant tournament about the best of the best. Not Worlds, but this is like just to see what the competition is worldwide. And that's going to be great, and they put on a show. Believe me, I mean, they had Imagine Dragons for World Championships last year, and Jeremiah loves that. It was great. So, I mean, I like that they're doing the global donation to all game developers, because I've seen foreign game makers make like an indie horror game or two. They're actually very well developed for someone by themselves.
Absolutely.
So good on the gaming companies, and good on Rito.
Yeah.
What do you think, Jeremiah?
I think this is fabulous. I mean, if we were to look back on video games were invented back in the early 1980s, late 1970s, something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to say actually maybe 1960s with Pong and everything.
Yeah.
Fucking Atari, all that stuff.
Yeah, but this medium for storytelling and entertainment even is just the fastest growing ever. I mean, if we were to look back on history, it took forever for books to be distributed because the church and the people in power did not want the commoners to learn how to read. So reading took forever for that kind of storytelling to get out. And then if we were to look at movies and TV shows, yeah, they got big pretty fast, but at the same point, it was, it's been around for over 100 years.
Yep.
But it hasn't been that, it took a while to get pretty big because it was expensive. And that's also the same thing with video games when it was first invented. Expensive as hell to make and expensive as hell to play. But now, according to I can't remember where I read this, but some statistics that have been done, if we were to account for inflation, the games that are being released now are the cheapest that they have ever been.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's also the fastest growing. It's been like 40, 50 years for it to get this big. And movies took forever. TV shows took forever. Books took longer than forever to get really out there. So, and the idea that the money is being put back into it, that means we can get games from Russia, from Japan, from Germany, from England, from different walks of life, different, I want to say religions, but that's not the right word, regions, different points of view, different cultures, that's what I was looking for, and move on from there and get different kinds of games.
I hope for Farming Simulator 2016.
Fair enough. I think this is a fabulous, fabulous thing to do. Just absolutely fabulous. What do you think, Anthony?
I'll go off of what Jeremiah said. It is fabulous, and I like it. I'm not too happy about the Candy Crush, though. I'm not a too big fan of mobile games. That's one thing I don't know why Nintendo's gonna go for the mobile game scene. I really don't know why they're doing that. But out of everything I've heard, I'm happy. LOL actually, made some decent money on that fact. Not a big LOL fan, but I am happy that video games are growing, and it's just nice to see how much money they're making in that group. So as long as video games are gonna exist, I'm on board.
Here.
Agreed.
So, agree to that.
What do you think, Aaron?
Honestly, I think it is just really actually surprising. I mean, I've heard from a lot of gamers that 2014 just sank worse than the freaking Titanic.
Okay, I'm gonna interrupt you real quick and say the quality of the games is what sucked, not people buying the games.
I know, but that's like, it's just like, just the global market is just like, nowadays it's like, just like that. You can put a review, and people take these reviews seriously now. Some people are just like...
Far too seriously.
Yeah, far too seriously.
IGN.
But it's just like, it's like people judge the games, and it's like, I'm not going to buy this game, or it's going to completely crash and burn now. I'm not going to buy this game. And this was going worldwide. It wasn't just like, oh, okay, it's just one game. It was quite a few games that people were just like, this looks like it's going to suck, or this is not going to do well in the market.
Yeah.
I mean, like, last year, people thought, to put an example, Call of Duty was going to sink because the year before, when they did Ghosts, they were not selling nearly as many copies as they were hoping, so they were kind of in debt. They move on to 2014, and you got Call of Duty, you got, like, Assassin's Creed,
Evil Within.
I mean, you got just like a select few games that people were looking forward to, and people looked at that as the saving factor of the year. Now, did that do that? We don't know yet. That's up to debate, but the fact that it raised $54.1 billion is honestly astounding to me, and I honestly think it's great. Putting $7.2 billion back into the market is, maybe it may not be like the best for the U.S. economy, since U.S. economy, meh. But it's going back to the developers, so it's honestly a good sign of faith in just the gaming community, because the gaming community is starting to become like more connected. Like, as people know, they're putting MLG gaming in sporting events, X Games, and it's just take it with a grain of salt, but that is a huge step. And I think it can go even further along the lines, and I think this year may be an even bigger year for gaming than, say, maybe 2013, with upcoming E3s.
Yeah.
This year's E3 is going to be fabulous.
E3 has a lot to offer.
Yeah.
And
But I'm sorry to interrupt you one more time, but according to, I want to say IGN, but I read this thing last year, or early this year, that more people watch the League of Legends Worlds than, I think, 3 times the amount that watch baseball's World Series.
Oh,
yep.
I watched Worlds, and I can definitely assure Twitch was boomed. Like, you get over...
And that's only Twitch, too.
Yeah, exactly. There's YouTube, Azubu, or whatever it's called. No, but I can tell you right now, from, like, the spring finals of League happened roughly last weekend, and that had over, on just Twitch alone, 100,000 views.
Yeah.
Twitch is always funny. If you want a good laugh, go to the Twitch chat whenever League is happening. The Twitch chat is absolutely cancerous. It's perfect.
No.
But with League of Legends, it also brings up a question I will be asking later about a certain thing that may add or break to games. But it's like, you look at League of Legends, and it's free to play, so some people must be like, how the hell are they considered one of the best companies to lead in money? Well, that's going to come up later.
Fair enough. All right, Mikey, what was your news?
Okay, so as of April 23rd, late at night, there was a project announcement from the slut company known as Telltale Games. In 2017, we get Telltale's very own hit on Marvel game. Like, they're going to do something with Marvel. Jeremiah, what do you think about Marvel with Telltale?
Okay, I'm going to tell you guys something a little bit about myself. I don't like comics. I don't like heroes. I don't see what's so great about them, but my biggest problem with this is, like you said, Telltale being a slut. Now, don't misunderstand me, okay? I love The Walking Dead. I loved Wolf Among Us. I can't wait to play Game of Thrones when I finally catch up in the show. And, I love Telltale. I really do. but their games are becoming less and less special. Also, this thing being, announced 2 years ahead?
Exactly.
Yeah. Coming out in 2017, right?
We don't know what...
Yeah,
we
but
don't
like
even have any-
2017, that's when it's supposed to?
Yep.
Okay. That's a little ridiculous. I mean, do you guys really want another one of those Watch Dogs, where it was announced 3 years, and it was announced at E3, and then it had 3 E3s.
But it didn't live up to standards?
It did. A lot of people say no, but it had including the one that it was announced at, it had 3 E3s that it was at. So, granted, it was 35 hours long, and that's pretty much just the regular story. But Telltale just needs to stop announcing stuff. Keep some stuff under the belt. Their games are just becoming less special. That's what made The Wolf Among Us and Walking Dead Season 1 and Season 2 so special. That because they were only there. They were the newest thing, really.
They were different.
Yes, that's the word I was looking for. Different. They're not AAA. They were a story. And that's what really matters to me, is how special a game is.
Hear, hear. I completely concur.
Anthony, what's your reaction to this?
My reaction, okay, first off, Telltale games are great. You got The Walking Dead, got Wolf Among Us. I've yet to beat those, by the way. But anyways, as much as I play them, I love them. They're great. The one thing I don't like is the Minecraft one they're doing. Not a huge fan. I don't get why they're doing that. I have not played enough Minecraft to understand why they're doing it, but I still think it's a bad idea. And now they're moving to Marvel, which I'm like, no, you need to stop. You need to stop with this. You need to hold your horses. Be like, you know what? We need to finish up some of these seasons up, and be like, okay, let's finish some of these seasons up, and then think about what your new game's gonna be. And this is my own opinion about this, but I still don't like how they have Game of Thrones. But this is just my own opinion. I do not like the Game of Thrones one.
Are those fighting words? You wanna fight?
I just don't like them. But that's just my own opinion. So I think they kind of have to take a step back, finish up their other seasons, and just think about it before before you do something. So I'll throw it to Aaron.
Marvel as Telltale. New. Just new. And I'll tell you why. Because can you get any more general? Oh, let's do Marvel. It's like, yes, they have 2 years to say, okay, this is what we're going to do. But don't say just Marvel with 2 years. If you're going to announce it, give a little bit of specifics. Just a little bit more specifics besides, hey, Marvel. It's like, you could go anywhere with that. Yes, that's creative. But it's also a bit frustrating because it's like, okay, you're doing Marvel. So it's like, oh, I'm going to do Life. What about Life? You're going to find out in 2 years.
Fair enough.
The board
You're going to find out in 2 years.
I like that. I concur. I freaking concur.
and it's like, Marvel is set. They are set. They've got movies. They've got games. They've got a lot going for them. They got comics. They've got it all lined up. So now that they're just bringing in Telltale being the can do almost anything to make a game, is starting to just become less special. It's becoming less creative, in my opinion. It's just becoming more, what can we do to keep people busy? They just did one of our games, we need to keep them busy. And I don't know if it's just like the fans saying, give us another game, we want another game. And I think they just need to space things out better. If you're going to, I feel they need to focus more on Wolf Among Us, The Walking Dead. I think they really should just focus on a select few until you can at least get to a point where you say, okay, we've pretty much made the fuck out of these games. let's make something new at a slower pace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning for them to announce like 5 more games within this year. It's honestly going to keep accelerating. But one thing that I saw on a post was the announcement of Marvel, and a shout out from Jason. He's like, "What other games do you think would be good for Telltale?" And I said, Sherlock Holmes. Yes, people will say, "Oh, Sherlock Holmes, Crime and Punishment." No, just that's investigative. But I feel that if you were to actually do a Sherlock Telltale game, you get more social aspect. You'd be able to build more with the characters. Since I've heard many complaints about the game being just bland, no real character development. It's just solve the mystery and do all this loo-doo-doo-da stuff.
Fair enough.
But that's my opinion.
Yeah.
What do you think, Mikey?
Shout out to Jason, who again was hit by a train while in a barrel.
I thought he was shot in the face.
Yeah.
Shh. They don't know that.
He's not actually hurt, folks.
No,
he
he's
isn't.
fine. He's just
No.
having some problems right now. Poor guy. Shout out. As a quote from Jason, "Let's get a shovel to dig up more shit that we can use."
Yeah.
So, my biggest issue with Telltale, being the little slut it is right now, is it's mainstream. It's Avengers. It's big enough as it is, and they're just taking something already so huge. And I feel like it might be a setback, because Telltale doesn't make the absolute best things. Like, don't get me wrong, they're up there with Walking Dead, Wolf Among Us. But if it's an episodic game, there's going to be low points that might, be like, okay, you're taking something this great and taking it away, in a way. Like Wolf Among Us, nobody, too commonly knows about Fables, which is the comic it's based off of, as a prequel. Like, that idea was so out of place, in a way. When Jason first introduced me to it, I was more hyped up than the original Walking Dead. I was like, this game is fantastic. It's so different. Now, don't get me wrong, we don't know what Telltale has in plans for 2016. I want to call Walking Dead Season 3 for 2016. Might not be that fast, but that ended 2014, so we might get it, hopefully, and they have a lot to work with for Season 3. Don't discount that.
We'll see.
Right now, they've got Game of Thrones and the Borderlands prequel, which I know nothing about because I never hear about it from anybody. But
I don't think it's an actual prequel. It's just set in the same universe.
Right.
It's set in the same universe. It's supposed to be during the
it's-
time of the second and possibly the
it's canon, I believe, something like that. But
It may not be
might be.
canon. It may just be like little side stories that,
Yeah.
kind of like the
Yeah.
fillers that you see in anime. Yeah.
So, but their Game of Thrones game right now has me totally, sucked in. Their storytelling is still top-notch as ever, but the fact they're using Marvel, what can they do with Marvel that will keep us so, I don't know if I want to say just hyped up for Telltale with their storytelling, because, there's Spider-Man, there's the Avengers, there's individual superheroes that may not be with the Avengers themselves. But it's so mainstream and just it's not that special, like everybody said. It's they're taking it away, in my opinion. So that Telltale, you're a slut. Get some anal beads. Calm yourself down. Jeremiah.
All right, my news. Okay, we've all played Square Enix games, right?
My ears.
But we've all played Square Enix games, right?
Yep.
I have.
And we're all excited about E3, right?
Yeah.
Well, according IGN, this is off of IGN. Square Enix has announced that it will be holding a press conference at this year's E3. So it is joining Bethesda, Electronic Arts, Ubisoft, Sony, and Microsoft.
And Nintendo.
And Nintendo will be there, but there is, what am I trying to say? Oh, Square Enix's will overlap with Nintendo, so either you're going to have to leave early or you're going to have to join late. So, what do you think of this, Anthony?
What I think.
What do you... Okay. Let me rephrase that question. What can Square Enix be announcing that warrants a conference at E3?
What could Square Enix be?
What could they announce? Like, what games do they...
What, the only games I could think of that they might announce, maybe a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah?
I would throw that into the crapshoot. Let's go with Kingdom Hearts.
Woo!
Those are maybe more games. I don't know that much of them other than so Kingdom Hearts, another Final Fantasy, or Final Fantasy they're already doing. I'm cool with that. I'm happy that they're gonna be there because it's better than Nintendo's Nintendo Direct, which sucked. So,
you wanna fight, son?
no, I feel like Square Enix should actually not just overlap Nintendo, but just like kind of push Nintendo
It's
away.
only because of the timing. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, Square Enix's conference is at 9 a.m. What, Pacific?
Till...
It's supposed... Depending on how long it's last, but Sony's is usually the longest at about an hour and a half. Each one... Every other one is about an hour.
So could this be just... Oh, sorry for interrupting,
No.
but could it be something like a half an hour conference, maybe? Or something
A
smaller?
half hour, that seems a little short for a conference for E3.
True.
That's why I'm asking what you guys...
Right.
What do you guys think they're going to have there?
Anthony, what else?
Or is
you
that
gotta
all?
say?
I was gonna say also, if it's definitely Final Fantasy related, I would love to hear some more because, like I said, I've yet to beat a Final Fantasy game. I can't wait to beat one soon, one of these days. So I'm happy. Kingdom Hearts, oh man, Kingdom Hearts 3. Oh my god, what can I say about the game? I still need to get the Remix 2.5, which I can't wait to get.
It's amazing.
Cannot wait to get that. But Kingdom Hearts 3 I'd like to hear more about, and I'm really hoping that they give us some more information. So I'm going to throw it to Aaron.
I'm excited for it. Like you said, Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy, hopefully some Life is Strange. I mean, I know that they're going to release another episode in mid-May, I think they said.
It's in May. It's announced for
It's
May.
gonna be
we
in
don't
May.
know. We don't know when in May.
I can't wait.
It's going to be in May, but I'm hoping they will maybe have something about maybe a second line or a second season or just something to continue off of for that. I'm rather actually hoping that there's some games we may have never even really seen yet. Some really new games like, okay, if it's going to... I'm predicting it could be like at the very least 45 minutes, which it might seem like a short amount of time, but it could also depend on how many games they decide to reveal.
Exactly. Absolutely.
Like they could probably actually get a good 30 minutes out of just Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy, just gameplay alone,
Absolutely.
and just some new features or some new stuff to show in them is long enough for at least 20 minutes each. So that's around 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that's great. Square Enix, I know, has been the bane of my existence at times and also my savior in terms of games, but I think overall it is a really good opportunity for Square Enix to really show their stuff.
All right.
Quick question. Is there a Final Fantasy game in development right now that has been announced and has not been released yet?
Final Fantasy 15.
Yep.
When does that come out?
We don't know.
God damn it. Okay. Right now, I'm calling the big shot Kingdom Hearts 3. Whore me out. Lick all over my body. Throw the ones on me. I'm going to whore the fuck out to Kingdom Hearts 3. Now, I'm
Hey,
going to
it's Telltale.
Hey, eat my shit!
Air.
No, I'm calling right now that I don't want to say there won't be anything new, because I want to say Square Enix, bring on a new project that nobody saw coming. Don't make it original, make it something huge, come at me, because I would be very interested to see what Square Enix has to offer, but their Kingdom Hearts 3 news is the biggest thing. I'm calling a 10-minute trailer, because whenever they do a new trailer, it's usually always 10 minutes long. And I want to see either more gameplay, or the fact since it's being incorporated to Xbox One, maybe we'll get to see a PvP kind of system coming out, because everybody called that since it's going to Microsoft, we're going to get PvP. Yeah, you guys are totally against the idea. I'm not saying I'm all up for it, but it's an idea. And I do not know how the fuck it would work, but bring on the new trailers. Hell, even announce what's after 3, because we all know they're not done. after 3. They are going to start something new. Maybe we'll get a sneak peek at development. What do you guys want? Holy shit.
I did not realize that Kingdom Hearts 3 was going to come to Xbox. I'm just like new. I really wish Kingdom Hearts would stay
This was
as
last year.
I know. It's just like I totally forgot about it, but it's like I really wish it would stay as a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah.
That really made it special. Yeah, it was on the DS. It was on 3DS.
Careful, fanboy.
Woo! Shots fired.
fanboy. I profess my love. All right.
Oh god, he's
But no.
lactating.
No. Hell no. All right. But no.
Welcome to the We're All Idiots podcast, where we are literally all idiots.
Prepare to lose
I
all
agree.
brain cells in the process of
Yeah.
within an hour. But it's like I really wish it would stay as a PlayStation exclusive because that made it special in terms of the consoles. And then when it was on the 3DS, that was cool. But as I know, some people didn't actually complete several of the 3DS games. No names, yeah, I really wish it would stay as a PlayStation exclusive just because it made it even more special. Just like
Yeah.
on the PlayStation 2, it was just like, love it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, back to you. What were you saying?
Oh, what did you want to throw in something, Anthony? Because you raised your hand too.
You know, I'm also gonna say I don't get why they have to make it. Why they have to throw it to the Xbox. Why?
You know why? Because Xbox was probably crying like a little bitch because they gave it to the DS and the 3DS, and they're like, "Hey, what about us? We need love too."
What's next? PC?
Yeah, PC Kingdom Hearts. No, there's actually a PC Kingdom Hearts game. Kingdom Hearts Chi. It is literally it's Japan exclusive, but it's basically like you make your own little Kingdom Hearts avatar and you fight Heartless using kind of like Chain of Memories mechanics. So I'm like, that's cool. If only it came to the US so I could have something to invest my time on the computer, damn it.
Thanks, Japan.
Thanks, Japan.
Who doesn't like Chain of Memories?
Nah, but like, I'm all up to hearing this Kingdom Hearts 3 stuff. I hope they do a new trailer because I will be screaming the entire time. Yeah, I mean, I'm not too big on Final Fantasy, but that's cool too. Jeremiah, come at me.
I'm not going to come at you. Okay, the only thing I'm actually going to come at you guys is Microsoft wanted this. And the reason why the originals were not on Microsoft is because they did not have a console at that time, or it wasn't big enough. So, also, I'm sure it had to do with the contract. But seriously, with it coming to Microsoft, that could actually mean that we get the 1.5 and 2.5 ported up to the current gen.
Ooh.
So,
Master Bundle.
and absolutely. So maybe what it might be called, I mean, yeah, call me stupid if you want, call me an idiot. Yeah, we're all idiots. But I think it would be cool to release Kingdom Hearts 2.75. It includes 1, Birth by Sleep, Chain of Memories, 2, Dream Drop Distance,
358.
358 in 2 days, and I'm missing one. I feel like
Recoded.
Recoded. That's the last one I was missing.
The one that nobody cared about.
I'm going to disagree with that one.
Oh.
I did not like Dream Drop Distance.
That's another day.
Yeah, that's another conversation. But my reaction to this was, what does Square Enix have coming out? So, and then I started going through my head. Deus Ex, not Human Revolution, but the newest Deus Ex, I can't remember the subtitle for it right now, but the newest one, that's developed by Square Enix, or at least it's published. That's a game right there that they can show off. They got Final Fantasy 15, and they'll probably even talk about Final Fantasy 14, the MMO. They might even go back to last year, and they'll actually do a remake for Final Fantasy 7.
Yes.
Instead of just the bullshit PC port. And then Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom freaking Hearts. I want Kingdom Hearts 3. And I'm going to say this right now. It has been confirmed that Kingdom Hearts will be at E3 for several months now. It has been confirmed.
Sweet.
Okay? So Kingdom Hearts is going to be at E3. It was always a question of where it was going to be at, though, but now we know. I mean, Microsoft might have like some extra DLC. Sony might have some extra DLC. Who knows? Pre-order bonuses, that kind of shit. But I would love for them to announce. I mean, we need a date or at least a window.
Yes, definitely.
And then since it's coming to the Xbox, they gotta give 1 and 2 at least to the Xbox.
Maybe.
If they don't, then they're basically leaving money on the table. Because a lot of people won't buy it if they don't know the story, because you guys know how freaking complicated that story is. So if you guys just jump into 3, that's gonna kill you.
Yeah, just a little bit. Just a little. I mean, they have a good starting point for it.
Yeah. But the other thing that they're going to announce at the last update last week, one of the head guys for Kingdom Hearts alluded at the possibility of a mobile Kingdom Hearts game, so something on mobile devices. So that's something that if it's going to come out, that's the time to announce it.
Can I just interrupt for 2 seconds? Did you know Coded was not actually recoded? Coded was the Japanese mobile game for Kingdom Hearts that they turned into an actual story. Like, it functioned like the one that we've gotten today, except it wasn't with a story, I believe.
No.
And it was just, you do this, you do these missions as it comes out, update by update, you get costume chibi bullshit. Fucking Japan. And there you go. So, I mean, the real question about that is, will it be canon to the story?
We don't know, because all we know is that it's only rumored that it's a mobile game, that they're going to have a mobile game. And who knows, maybe the mobile game will be the start of the next Kingdom Hearts series.
Ooh, that'd be interesting. Just a little,
like when they finish Sora's and Riku's and to nominate Kairi. I'm missing some characters, but I don't feel like sitting here for like 30 minutes going over characters. But, Square Enix has a conference at E3. So they gotta talk about Kingdom Hearts.
Make it PT.
Release a demo like they did last year. Oh my god, that would be fabulous. Not a payable one, please. Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes. But they're gonna have Kingdom Hearts. They gotta go over Life is Strange. They at least gotta give us dates on the last 1 or 2 episodes. And then they're going to talk about Final Fantasy, I'm willing to bet. And so on and so forth. New games, new IPs, maybe a new IP. But really it's going to focus on really Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy. That's what my guess is.
I concur.
Alright, everybody concurs, I guess. Alright, so now what we're going to do is, along with news, we all brought a question that we wanted to address to everybody. So I'm going to throw this over to Mikey.
He's so scary. Anthony is making the creepiest look. Okay.
But I'm going to throw this over to Mikey. What's your question that you brought to the group?
Well, my question is this is going to be worded a little awkwardly, so I apologize. Now, in terms of games, what plot twist? And this, by definition, my definition of it is either made your jaw drop to the floor or made you emotionally roused and just like, what the fuck? Shut up, Anthony. And why? And it doesn't have to be nailed down to one title because there's a bunch up there for all of us, so...
Absolutely.
But at least try to nail a top-notch one. So, I'm going to hand it over to Bill Clinton over here.
Aaron Smith, in other words.
Yep.
Yeah. Alright. Anyways. Honestly, the only game I can think of that made me go just what the fuck is Call of Duty Ghosts ending. The campaign ending. I would have chosen Last of Us, but I didn't find that as a what the fuck. I was just like, that sucks. I was like, yeah, it was shocking, but it wasn't... I can't say it was... honestly, my biggest what the fuck moment. The biggest what the fuck moment was what defied logic of Call of Duty series was at the end of Ghosts.
Spoilers?
You guys, are you going to talk about it? Or are you going to...
Yeah, I'm gonna... So, spoilers.
Alright, spoilers for Call of Duty Ghosts. Skip ahead about 2 minutes. So keep it with under 2 minutes.
Okay, so basically, Rourke, the main boss or main villain of the series, you pretty much go on a train to take him down. You blow up the train tracks. You're in a sinking train. You shoot through him, and you accidentally hit your brother. Well, you hit him in the chest, around the heart area. You expect him to drown his ass in the train when you get up. You get up on the shore of the beach, and you watch as your fleet literally tears apart the enemy fleet. Well, it goes on to the credits, and all of a sudden the credits stop. You're able to control your character. You turn to the right, and guess who's there? Rourke. He freaking breaks your arm, drags you away from your brother, and says, I'm going to make you kill all the ghosts, who are the good guys. And basically, I was just like, what the fuck? You should be dead. So basically, I know they wanted to make a sequel, but it really just made me go, what the fuck? It made me very angry. So that's basically mine. What do you think, Anthony?
Alright, end of spoilers. End of spoilers. For Call of Duty Ghosts, that is.
Yes.
Alright, Anthony.
So my biggest jaw-dropping moment, this might not be for everyone, but I'm going to go with this because this is when I didn't have that much knowledge, and it was Persona 4 with Adachi.
Okay, hold on. Spoilers again for Persona 4. Keep it under about 2 minutes. Skip it, for those of you who are listening, about 2 minutes.
Okay, so basically when I found out that Adachi was like kind of the main...
The original killer?
Yeah, the original killer. He just went, I was like, whoa, I didn't know someone that was like so like kind of stupid. But stupid on the half side of it. But just never expected him. Even when the girl with the blue hat, I forgot her name. Anyways, when she asked you, okay, so who do you think the killer is, and they have a list, which I thought was hilarious, especially when
Naruto.
Naruto. When the list appears and you get to choose between your uncle, Nanako, which I thought was hilarious, and Adachi and everyone, and I was like, before I even spoiled myself, I was like, you know what, I feel like I'm going with Adachi because I highly doubt Nanako could have done this, But anyways, when you find out Adachi was, I really thought in my own mind it was the guy that Namatame, who I thought when he took Nanako to the whole heaven part of the game, I thought he was the killer. First off, but then when I watched the anime before I played the game, so then I got better understanding of it. But anyways, I was very shocked about it. So I'm gonna end spoilers right there.
All right. That is the end of spoilers for Persona 4.
Whoop whoop.
So yeah, that's just my spiel, guys, about Persona 4, and it made me not drop my jaw though. It made me more stunned than drop my jaw.
Mm-hmm.
So,
there you go.
I'm gonna pass it on to Jeremiah.
Okay. Well, before we do the spoilers, because this is a very spoilers question, I'm gonna mention three games that really stunned me, and I'm not gonna say what really stunned me except for the one that actually really made me drop. But The Last of Us, the beginning and the end, so about 10-15 minutes into the game and then the end, those two were just holy hell. And Persona 4 with, you guys remember, unless you guys skipped ahead, so I won't go back there. And then Persona 3. The biggest one that really made me drop my jaw was Persona 3.
Ooh.
And spoilers for the next 2 minutes. So, when you're playing through and Shinji dies, you get to that point and it was like, okay, that's kind of a bit of a shocker. Whatever. But then as you move on and you finally defeat that 12th shadow for the year, turns out that the chairman, I can't remember his name off the top. Ikutsuki, that's his name. Turns out that he was the one that was manipulating you to keep the dark hour from disappearing. So by killing those 12 shadows and that kind of stuff, it turns out he was manipulating you. He's kind of the main bad guy and everything. At that point, obviously it changes on later. But then after that, it goes on to you were the one that has, along with Akutsuki, you kind of are the one that's bringing the end of the world, because you had death implanted into you, and so on and so forth. You kill the 12 shadows, death forms, and then after that you have to defeat death. Well, technically you can't. So, moving on. Yeah, that's Persona 3 just made me drop my jaw, along with Persona 4, and especially Persona 4 Golden, because that had a little more story. And then Last of Us.
Whoa.
So, yeah. And the spoilers. Alright, Aaron, what's your question?
Oh, wow, you're not even going to get my input?
I felt like skipping you because I'm an asshole. Anyway, Mikey.
Honorable mentions. I'm not going to exactly go into details of what happens, but Fire Emblem Awakening actually had a twist or two that don't really make me flip out, but Paralogs 5 through 16 should be enough to suffice if you think about it. Definitely Last of Us. Specifically in the middle of the game when you are joined by a few companions. And the last one has to be Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance at the end.
Okay.
Need I say more? So, we're going into Walking Dead Season 2.
Okay.
Spoilers time!
2 minutes.
I apologize to you, Anthony, so hard, so you should plug your ears unless you just want to hear it already. So,
I'm cool with it.
every episode of this is why Telltale is a god at storytelling, is because they make so many people's emotions roused. Yeah, Aaron, let's keep bowing. Bow. All hail Telltale. No,
not all hell. Not the slut.
but specifically, the season finale had so many twists. The 2, I will nail it down. Actually, 3. Luke's death. You can't save him. Bonnie can actually die from that if you choose not to save her if she takes the fall. Clementine getting shot in the chest with a rifle from fucking Arvo. I think that's his name, right?
Yes.
Arvo. But it has to be at the very end when you have to choose between Kenny and Jane's life when they're killing each other. Yeah, Anthony's experiencing it. Basically, what happens is, Kenny and Jane hides the baby in a car, and they're stranded. And Kenny finds out the baby's gone. So Kenny flips his shit, becomes mentally unstable, and starts attacking Jane. You're powerless, they're fighting, they're injuring each other, and it's at the point where Kenny has a knife to Jane's chest. So you either let him stab Jane, or you shoot Kenny in the chest. And then you decide, depending on what you do, you can kill them both, you can let one survive or the other, but depending on what you do, there's about 5-7 different scenario endings.
There's 5 endings.
5 endings. Where you are either alone, you end up with Jane, and you choose between certain people joining your group, or you end up at the Savior Heaven that Kenny has been talking about the entire game. And that can end in a few different ways as well. So, good job on Telltale for Season 2. That was fucking ridiculous shit, especially that finale. And the spoilers.
Alright.
Aaron,
what's the question that you brought to the table?
The question I brought to the table, like I mentioned earlier, lol, is do microtransactions make or break games?
Mm-hmm. Very good question.
Alright.
Anthony.
Alright, Anthony.
Okay. For viewers who don't know what microtransactions are, can you please explain to them?
Yes.
Microtransactions are basically, you can define them as little pieces of DLC if you want, or literally, they're basically just little things you can buy with money to get stuff in, say, mobile games. A lot of mobile games is a currency you cannot earn, or if you try to earn it, it takes a really long time. And, gems, gold, whatever you can think of. But microtransactions can also be to weapons, characters, you name it, costumes, all that stuff. And it's basically, I've heard a lot of history of, microtransaction make this game, break this game. But, so what do you think?
So some of the DLC I have bought from some of my games that I've owned, like I'm gonna go off of one of them I owned, Mortal Kombat. I forgot which one it was, but it was for the PS3. So Mortal Kombat, they came out with DLC like Freddy Krueger. They came out with many other fighters.
Just so you know, Jason is coming out for Mortal Kombat X.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Jason. Same with Predator.
Man.
Yep. Predator.
So
I don't
those
think
two.
he's confirmed.
No, Predator's
Predator.
not.
Oh, Predator's
Predator.
okay.
It's confirmed.
But
Oh.
there's no date.
Well then, that's new.
Jason is actually out next week.
Yay.
For those of you who are
Sweet.
playing MKX.
That's
So-
right. You can play as Jason Sirkovic.
Yes, you can play as the or one of the hosts of this podcast.
See,
that is
when
not here
Jason
right
fell
now.
down the stairs and accidentally broke his left shin, he became a Mortal Kombat character at the end.
If you want to know what his fatality is, it's Haboken!
Okay, Anthony. Continue.
Anyways, so I think it made that game. In my own opinion, I think with the DLC characters they got, that it was a good selection of DLC characters. I don't think it was worth how much they were though, and that's just me. I feel like characters shouldn't be. It should depend on how much they're worth in money wise and how much like if a character's gonna be like $5 or. If a character was ever to be $10, I think that's a little ridiculous.
Yeah.
Especially. So if it's like $5 or like maybe like $3, I definitely understand that for DLC, especially with Super Smash. I'm gonna go off that with Mewtwo and Ness coming out from the
Lucas.
Great
Lucas.
Nintendo Direct, which kind of sucked. But anyways,
Shit.
so
I concur.
I concur.
I even concur myself. So, but it's just. I like how I'm happy that we have DLC in this world. It's great, but you never know what kind of if a DLC is gonna make or break a game. I've yet to play a game that DLC has not been successful in a game. I've gotten DLC for Skyrim, for example, and I loved it. I've only gotten one DLC for that. DLC that wouldn't be necessary, I would say, would be for Persona. I hope they never make DLC for that game. I think it's that game doesn't need DLC, and that's one of the games I really love, and that's one of the games I would not want DLC for.
You're here.
So I'm gonna pass that
Absolutely.
to Jeremiah.
Okay, well, I'm actually going to disagree with you on your definition of microtransactions. DLC, for me, is something that actually kind of warrants it. So, like House of Wolves or characters for Mortal Kombat or characters for Smash. But microtransactions, to me, are like for Pokemon Rumble when you have to buy those, gems, right?
Yeah, the
Rumble
currency.
World,
Yeah,
It's
the
basically
currency.
The currency, yeah.
The currency, otherwise you have to earn it through the game and you only get, couple hours to do it, right?
Like 6 a day.
Yeah,
And
6 a day.
And it's like, the more you buy with the gems, the higher the cost is. And it's just like,
There's also the for multiplayer, I don't like it. For single player, sure. When microtransactions are for single player, I'm okay with them. I don't necessarily like them because I will never spend my money on it.
Mhm.
But when it comes to pay to win, like Battlefield or even Resident Evil Revelations, the episodic series from Resident Evil Revelations has multiplayer microtransactions where you can buy gems that revive you, or you can earn them throughout the game. So, really, the only way that it can ever truly make a game is if it's not pay to win, it's pay for like a costume.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I'm gonna have to disagree with Anthony for Persona. I mean, I love Persona, but like if you offer like costumes, I'm all for it. But if you offer weapons, no weapons. You gotta earn those. You gotta if you want to buy a Persona through real world money rather than the yen in the game. No. Microtransactions with real world money do not work when you're trying to beat the game. Whereas, like, if you want, like, if, say, some costume looks good on Persona 5 when it comes out,
Yeah.
then, and the only way you can get it is through buying it, go right ahead. But if you buy revives, you buy a weapon, then no. You buy currency for a game to keep playing, no. That's just not okay in my eyes.
And I'm just gonna add really quick before Mikey goes. I just don't like it that I really hope that when they do these microtransactions, I know they want to make money, but there's a difference between making money and doing it for the reason for the game.
Yeah.
If you're just doing it to make money, then it just kind of defeats the purpose of microtransactions. If you're just gonna throw content in there and be like, yeah, here's content, enjoy it, have fun with that. No. If you're gonna make content, make it meaningful for the game. So that's all I'm gonna throw out. So
Yeah. All right. All right. What about you, Mikey?
I have a bit of a rant, if that's okay. This might take a little while. I'm going to try to keep it down to like 5 minutes max. So, I have 3 games I'm bringing up with microtransactions. I'm going to start with League of Legends. The nice thing, the microtransactions in no way are required to win. Everything you earn, you can get in-game. Skins, character costumes, basically. Those are the main thing with microtransactions. You can also use them to get rune pages to make your character a little stronger, but the runes themselves cost in-game currency, which does not take that much to earn at all. And you can get runes very fast. You can get name changes as well. That's great. No, but that's what I like. When it's costuming, and it's not required at all to make you win. Rumble World. I started Rumble World, and I was going fast. I started plowing through that game for the first, 20 ranks, and then there's a stopping point where my Pokemon I were not getting, they were not power leveled at all to where I needed to get, and now I've hit the point where I'm not getting Pokemon that are that powerful. I have to do microtransactions to get that far without investing, months to even progress. And recently, it took me, 2 weeks to just get another rank, because it just, the recharge times are just absolutely terrible. So that right there is where it starts out fine, where it's not too required, but it's hit the point where it's you need to pay to win. It's no, stop. And my final game I gotta bring up is Awakening. Fire Emblem Awakening's DLC is absolutely fantastic. It doesn't have to do with the story at all. It's available from the start. You get a trial level with the first, it's its own story arc. And there's 2 different sets of DLC in a way. There's 3 bits of DLC per, 7 sets that go by 3. There's one set, there's another set, and there's another set, and there's another set that tie into one story. The one set that differs from them all in the first set, extra gold, extra EXP, and A-ranked weapons, basically, that you can't require in-game, rather. And that stuff is honestly just if you want to invest time to make some team that's absolutely that powerful. And then there's a second set where it's extra challenging levels, character development levels between each other, actual after-game levels that continue off or just rather go a different perspective, and one final level that's just, if you got the DLC and you make a team to win, if you can beat this, you are a god, because they don't mess around with that last DLC level, which is literally, you need to beat this challenge and you are worthy of this title, basically. So, microtransactions, in a way, they can work. They can honestly work, as long as it's not Rumble World, where you pay to fucking win, which I do not want to do, and I want to buy other games instead of spending it on one, damn it!
Aaron. You guys mentioned DLC and microtransactions now. Microtransactions, they're little stuff. They're not actual big DLC.
Right.
Big DLC, we're talking actual, what you mentioned,
Fire
Emblem Awakening, that's more DLC than microtransactions. Microtransactions are the small stuff, like you guys said, the skins, the clothes, the everything. But it's I feel microtransactions break more games than they actually make them. Because,
absolutely. Definitely.
Because, like Jeremiah said, Battlefield 4, it's now you can buy battle packs to where you get almost all the attachments you need to make a weapon great. The DLC itself, it's yeah, people argue that that's pay to win, but they've made the challenges a bit harder. Now another game that's starting to become pay to win is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
Really?
They now introduced not just the supply drops that you get through the game, you can now get advanced supply drops, which guarantee higher ranked weapons, higher ranked gear, and it's like you pay like a $2 for one, which means people are just like completely just binge buying them, and they're pretty much getting all the elite weapons, all these elite stuff. So it literally takes out the fun of actually earning the goddamn weapons.
Here. I concur.
It just makes it.
Agreed.
It just makes it a lot less fun because I remember the very first time I opened a supply drop in Advanced Warfare, I got a really good weapon, the AK Rest in Peace elite weapon. A lot of people wanted that gun, and I got it right off the bat, so I was really happy. Now that they have advanced supply drops, it's like, what's the purpose of even playing the game now when I can just like literally save up my money, binge buy, and I'll just have almost all the weapons I need, and it really just takes out the fun of just playing the game now.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, you get the DLCs with zombies, more multiplayer maps, but that's not the thing. I prefer just earning it. Because it's like everyone has at least had at least one thing they've done to where it's like they've spent hours, maybe even days on end, just doing it. It doesn't matter if it's homework, a project, it's a hobby, it doesn't matter. It's just something. And once you get it done, you really feel a sense of accomplishment. But we've all also had something where we've taken the easy way out or done the easy thing, and it's just like, doesn't matter compared to someone who actually did it and actually worked their asses off, and they're just like, I did it, while you're just sitting next to them, and you're just like, I don't see the big deal.
Yeah.
It just makes things a lot more dimmer. Yeah, and so I just think microtransactions break games than they actually make them.
Yeah.
And a little short thing I'm gonna mention is you guys said you guys don't want like microtransactions or some microtransactions for Persona, but I can see like maybe microtransactions for like more Persona choices. Like they'll have like a set number of Personas in there. Maybe you get some like previous Persona choices from the previous games, or maybe some costumes from the previous games.
I'm all for costumes in Persona, but I don't want them to have me to pay for Personas.
Like you don't have to like pay.
I know
it's
you
just
don't
like
have
it's,
to.
It's
but
like it's more for just like the nostalgia.
fair, but I don't.
It's like you don't unlock them. It's just okay. You can now try to get them in the game. It's not okay. You bought them. You pretty much get to use them right off the bat.
Yeah, I wouldn't want that to happen because then it basically try to like help you through like let's say for a dungeon or something like that. Yeah, that's not cool. You should be able to do it on your own. Anyways, thank you, Bill Clinton. It's Aaron Smith. So I'm gonna go with my question. My question is to all you guys. What is your favorite game company, publisher, and developer? And we're gonna start with Jeremiah.
Okay. My favorite publisher has to be Ubisoft.
Really?
It really does. Because of really UbiArt last year with Child of Light and Valiant Hearts. I also love Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, Ghost Recon, Splinter Cell. I love almost everything Ubisoft puts out. But after last year's kind of disappointing AAA market, the indie market was fabulous last year. And I'm not a big indie guy. But my favorite developer is a tie between Game Freak for Pokemon, because Pokemon's the shiznit.
Concur.
Yep.
And Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog. Just Naughty Dog. Uncharted, The Last of Us, Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah.
I'm sure I'm missing some IP here and there, but just those 3 IPs? Three?
Yeah.
Just those 3 IPs alone are just fabulous. Crash Bandicoot is so different from Uncharted, and Uncharted is so different from The Last of Us. It shows that they can make almost anything out there. And I saw a rumor yesterday, I do believe, that Naughty Dog actually wants to get a Marvel license. And I think that they could actually pull off something.
Yeah.
It could actually be like the first good superhero game besides Arkham. Even though I don't like
Besides
Batman. Arkham
Ah.
for Batman.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like
That's
that.
DC.
Yeah. But like I said,
Yeah.
but I mean I don't like Batman, but it could be Naughty Dog is, in my opinion, the best developer, and then Pokemon's probably my favorite. But Naughty Dog just, their IPs are so different from each other, and they show what they can do.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about what they're going to do this gen, because each gen they have a new IP.
Yeah.
Uncharted was PlayStation 3, not Naughty Dog. Crash Bandicoot was PS2, and maybe
PlayStation.
PS1.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was PlayStation.
definitely
yeah.
PS1.
And then Last of Us was the end of PS3. So, and then they're closing off Uncharted with Uncharted 4. There's
they?
a yes,
Yep.
they are closing off Uncharted. Last of Us might have a sequel to it, but Naughty Dog has two teams. So and I think it's been confirmed that they are working on a new IP too.
Sweet.
So Pokemon for Game Freak for Pokemon, and then Ubisoft for my favorite publisher, and then Naughty Dog for the best developer. What about you, Mikey?
This question is so painful. I like a lot of things. Can I say Telltale is a developer?
Yes,
Since they
are technically independent.
Not going on that yet. Favorite game publisher has to be Nintendo. Right now with their Fire Emblem project, it's literally called Fire Emblem that game has to be sold right off the bat, because it's as much as it's a controversial thing, because I've heard so many mixed opinions, mainly because it's two different games apparently. That's just Japan. It could be one, but the fact it's two, I love the idea. Because it's two different difficulties. Like, they're staying true to Fire Emblem, but they're now introducing back to the original for the Game Boy, where it's like you go straight, you don't get the opportunity to grind outside of what you do per level. So Nintendo wins me there. Square Enix, honorable mention, because fucking Kingdom Hearts. Now developers, Game Freak, Pokemon, I'm going to stay true to that shit. Even though recent titles have slightly turned me off, don't get me wrong, I'm still a Pokemon geek to heart, but just, I'm not satisfied.
Everybody's got their own personal taste.
Yes. And Telltale. Fucking Telltale with their storytelling is ridiculous. It's so good. So that's my question right there.
Your answer?
Question. It's actually a question, thank you very much. See, this is why I'm an idiot, and this is why they include me, because I'm that stupid. Hi, Aaron, how are you? How about your answer?
I like Activision. Like, it's not just off the Call of Duty. It's like Activision. Yeah, it has up and downs, but it's basically been solid throughout some of its decisions in going into games. It's like Destiny. A lot of people say yes. A lot of people say no. Destiny, Activision work together. Everyone says Activision should have stayed out of it, but also like. I definitely like Sledgehammer. Now they're more for the Call of Duty, but Sledgehammer also worked on Dead Space.
Yes.
And it's like I played Dead Space, I loved it. I played Call of Duty by Sledgehammer, I loved it. And it's just that I think Sledgehammer. I see Sledgehammer as a moderately known game developer, and it's just like I think they could expand. I think that they can expand in like Activision, expand to make just more than just shooters. Like Sledgehammer is not like just known for the shooter. It's like if they actually do get more offers, they could make some gorgeous looking like JRPGs, well maybe not JRPGs, but RPGs, some platformers, you name it. They could go further than what they're doing right now.
Yeah.
So that's
So just to clarify, Activision's your publisher and Sledgehammer's your developer?
Yeah.
I want to interrupt for 2 seconds. I blanked on this. I wanted to give a shout out to the individual developer for Five Nights at Freddy's. That series is absolutely amazing. Shout out to Scott What's-His-Face, because I don't know his last name, but I know his name is Scott. Good on you for making that series, and keep cranking out stuff if you can. Anthony, sorry.
Alright, what's your answer?
So my answer, I'm gonna first start off with Atlas, because of Persona, of course. I love their JRPGs they made, like Persona 2, Persona even, Persona 3, Persona 4, and other titles they've made. Not with dancing, Persona 4 dancing. I even saw that there's a story to it now. Saw the trailer. No, why? So, but I feel like as a if I get this wrong, guys, I'm sorry. Developer. That is correct.
Atlas, I do believe, is a developer.
Okay,
Yep.
coolio. So they are. I just wanted to.
Yes, they are,
Yeah,
because
they-
they started off as a developer. They're more of a publisher right now,
Yep.
but they are a developer. I think they actually develop Persona, and then they publish almost everything else. So I
There
could
you
be
go.
wrong, though. So
And they also have like Catherine and all those other
Yeah.
games, and they published a lot of games. I meant, anyways, developed and published a lot of games. So I have to give a shout out to Atlas for that. Another one I'm gonna have to go with is Nintendo, but I'm gonna take a different route than Mikey did, and I'm gonna go off of my early childhood with the side scrollers with Mario and Legend of Zelda,
Yeah.
and all those from the NES era, and Punch Out. Gotta love that Mike Tyson until he got removed and put in with Mr. Dream.
Little mac and
Damn it.
cheese.
Little mac and cheese, basically. So I have to say those great side scrollers plus Goonies. Can't forget Goonies for the NES. Oh man, I wish I could have beat that game. But anyways, love some of those. They had a little like marble, like a marble game that you can like hear this little marble and makes weird sounds when you die. Like makes a really weird sound, but it was hilarious. They made a lot of great games for the NES, and that's why I give Nintendo. I'm going off of the old era, so that's why I liked. So,
cool.
That's my spiel, and I'm going to leave it up to Jeremiah for the last question of the day.
Alright, so the first fiscal quarter of the year is done. So, Game of the Year watch.
Oh God.
What is your Game of the Year so far, and what has been confirmed or is supposed to be out this year that you see overtaking it? Possibly overtaking it.
Would you give us a few titles that are coming out this year? Because I'm not too familiar, sadly, about what's coming out this year.
Okay, Star Wars Battlefront.
Yes.
I can't even begin to name all the indie games that are coming out this year.
Big titles.
Persona.
Persona. Okay.
Persona 5. Keep wanting to say Persona 4, but Call of Duty, Rainbow Six Siege. I'm basically naming a bunch of AAAs, but
Right.
Shovel Knight.
Kingdom Hearts.
Shovel Knight?
Kingdom Hearts is not supposed to be coming out this year.
Shovel Knight?
No.
Shovel Knight is out. It actually was released last week for the Vita and the PS3.
Oh, so it's a
cross
revamp.
buy, cross save.
So it's a revamp.
No.
Or not a revamp. It's a...
It's
Sequel.
No, it's a port, but at the same time, it's not because there's an extra boss
Oh.
in the PlayStation version.
Right. Okay.
And
God.
if you guys don't know, skip ahead about 10 seconds. It's Kratos from God of War.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's
Okay.
right.
If you guys
Okay.
don't want to know about the boss, there you go.
I thought it was also a playable character.
Him? No.
Maybe.
No.
No.
No, but there's, I think there's a rumor for the next Shovel Knight. No, actually, there's another form of Shovel Knight where it's Shield Knight, and it's like the female version of Shovel Knight.
Nice. Oh,
I could be wrong about that. It could not be out, or it's just rumored, or what. But those are some of the games. If you got a game question, I can probably look it up, or I might actually know.
Alright.
So what is your game of the year so far,
My
Mike?
game of the year. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm not too keen on a lot of these games that are coming out this year.
But what have
like,
you played so far that
what
has
I've
been out
played.
this year?
I will get to that. Like, all my titles are for next year. But, things come... Shut up, Aaron. Things are coming out, like, this year that have me intrigued. I'm going to throw out Game of Thrones for Telltale.
Okay.
It's successful so far.
Absolutely.
Nothing's crashed, burnt, and burned yet, like to an extent. Binding of Isaac Afterbirth, the expansion, where they are going to smack it in the face and add a shit ton of new stuff. I'm not saying that's really Game of the Year worthy, but it might be. Who knows? I don't personally have a Game of the Year that I'm really hyped up for in my book, but I'm willing to go for Persona 5.
Yeah.
Because everybody, you guys are whoring yourselves out right now. Like you, as Jeremiah, what is your opinion on Persona 5? No, you had a specific phrase about every other game coming out besides Persona 5.
I'll get to that when it comes to my turn, okay?
But if I wanted to actually put in a guess, I want to say Pokemon Z coming out, because that most likely will be announced next month because they like announcing. Coro likes to do their shit in May. So I'm going to guess Pokemon.
That might be your Game of the Year? All right.
Yeah, why not? Aaron.
Well,
So your Game of the Year so far?
my game of the year so far, even though I haven't really got much information on it, is Persona 5.
You haven't played it. I mean what you've played so far that has been out this year. Yeah, I know.
You suck!
Well, you can come back to that for what you think overtakes
no.
it.
But no, it's
Okay? That's why it's a two-part question. That's why I asked it like this.
I really haven't played much this year out of what's come out so far. So, honestly, I really can't say anything as to...
Metal Slug's Life is Strange.
I can't really say Metal Slug since that's like just a revamp of it. It's not really anything new. Actually, I could say Life is Strange. I could say so far my game of the year is Life is Strange. I could.
Yeah. Alright, so you don't know what your Game of the Year is so far. Okay,
well,
what do you see?
I could say it. It's that one since it's like that's pretty much the only new game I've really played out of what's come out so far.
I would let Metal Slug slide if you want to say that.
Nah.
No? Okay.
I found that to be just like a little mini game than anything else.
Okay.
That's more than
Fair enough. Alright, so what do you see overtaking it then?
Like I said before, Persona 5.
Okay. Anything else?
Persona 5, Rainbow Six Siege. I think that's definitely on my list for want to get and want to play. When I get the chance to play Bloodborne, depending on how that goes, I might put that on there.
Bloodborne was out. I'm changing my candidate to Bloodborne because everybody I have seen is whoring to that game. Okay. That's my nice term today.
Yep.
But yeah, Rainbow Six Siege, Persona 5. I think it honestly could. I'm really hoping it is Persona 5. Everything else, it's like just gravy.
Yeah, fair enough. What about you, Anthony? What is your Game of the Year so far?
My Game of the Year, can I use ORAS?
That was last year, you dingus.
Can you make an exception?
I will make an exception because...
It hasn't been a year since it was released.
Yeah, I will let it slide for now.
Okay.
I mean, obviously, when we actually do our Game of the Year discussion, I will not count it because, like I said, we've only been through one quarter of the year so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Well, when that happens, I'll definitely switch. But I'm gonna say ORAS because I really, even though it was a remake from Ruby Sapphire, Emerald a little bit, I liked it. I thought the gameplay was awesome and just reliving something that brings back memories. So I was really happy with that. I know a lot. Some people didn't like it.
I never said I didn't really like it. It's just since I played...
You were just a little disappointed.
Not disappointed. It's because I played Emerald so many times, I couldn't enjoy it as much as I'd want to.
Even though they're pretty much handing you Rayquaza. They're handing you Latios.
There is no Battle Frontier!
I know. I wish there was.
Yes, that's your
Battle
biggest
Frontier.
problem. Get over it.
Yeah.
Not the biggest, but...
You're giving the Battle
it's
Frontier.
That's your biggest problem. That's
what?
what you keep complaining about.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I
Anyway,
am hoping they do put Battle Frontier in as DLC. That would be great if they could. Or they could put it in the new one if they want to.
Come on.
Other than that, for my Game of the Year,
that you can see.
that I could see would definitely be Persona 5. I'm definitely going to go off that because, like I said, I really can't wait. I love seeing the trailer. I love even the instrumental music they play in the trailer. It's just, it's amazing, and I can't wait to play it. I am just hoping that they do the social links right, and it turns out to be a really great game. So I'm going to pass
All right,
it on to
Mikey,
Jeremiah.
before
Quick
I go.
question. Has Persona been nominated for Game of the Year multiple times with each coming
I don't know.
in?
Ask him. I've only been playing Persona for just.
Anthony, do you know if Persona's been on the Game of the Year nominees as
No.
a series? Really?
I mean, it's all personal taste.
Yeah, but I'm just
Yeah.
curious as in general, since Persona's been very, very well spoken as a very, very successful game series.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm asking. Anyways,
I mean, you can tell it's popular just because they decided to take it from the PS2, put it on the PS3. They made Golden, they've made 4, they just
Right.
They
continued
made
to run stuff.
Persona 3 FES. They made Persona 3 Portable.
So you can definitely tell that the popularity's there, that they're willing to say, okay, it could become a game of the year if they made the new game. So
That
yeah,
good.
it could.
Right.
It could
Okay.
definitely could.
All right, so my answer to my question. I have played a few games that have been out this year. I kind of wish I could say Transistor, but that was out last year. But I've played Dying Light. That was a good game. It's just I overhyped myself for it, so I was a little disappointed in it. La-di-da. I mean, don't get me wrong. That was a good game. It really was. I enjoyed it. But I kind of got in my head too much with it, I guess, as I was watching it. But my game of the year so far, and I honestly do believe this, it would take something fierce to overtake it. Life is freaking strange. Episode 1 and Episode 2. Those just... That's, what, 40% of the game. I've played 40% of the game, and that... Literally, my only problem with that is the lip sync. And even then, it doesn't bother me that much because the storytelling is so fabulous. I love the voice acting. I know a lot of people don't, but I love the voice acting. I love the art style. It's all hand-drawn.
Ooh.
It is. Max is such an interesting character. Chloe's a fabulous character. I can't wait to see what happens with Kate. No spoilers right there. That's all I'm going to say with Kate. Okay? But Life is Strange is my freaking game of the year. I honestly don't see anything overtaking it unless Persona 5 throws out the game of the century, really. I mean it. Persona 5 would have to be... I mean, I'm buying that thing freaking day one, don't get me wrong. But everything takes a back seat to Life is Strange.
Wow.
Everything.
Because you originally...
I mean, I'm not trying to overhype you guys for... Because I know Mikey hasn't played it yet.
No, like, my thing is, like, you... When we brought that discussion up, like, a month ago, you were like, every other game could go fuck itself compared to Persona 5.
Yes. I mean, that was before Life is Strange, really. I mean, I was excited for Life is Strange, but then when Episode 1 released, I was instantly in love. I never even downloaded the demo. The other host for this podcast, Jason Sokovic, he bought it, and I watched him play like 10 minutes of it. I was like, I'm sold. I'm buying it. I went into town, got myself my PlayStation card so I could buy it on my PS4. I got it right then and there. I played through it twice. Anthony played through it. Aaron eventually bought it. I really want you to play it, Mikey. And I'm really trying not to overhype it, but I can tell that I am.
I will, if we find the time, because it's finals week and you're graduating, if we can find a time sometime next week, because I'm free next Wednesday. If you don't have a final going on,
I
will come
don't
up.
have my PS4 up here right now. I don't. I got rid of it.
Summer!
Yeah, exactly. The summer, okay? But Persona 5 would have to put out something fierce. Pokemon would have to be beyond reasonably doubt fabulous. Star Wars Battlefront, before they announced that there was no campaign, that was definitely a contender for my game of the year. But since there's no campaign, I don't even know if I'm going to get it now. But Pokemon Rainbow Six Siege, if its story is good, I mean, I'm going to get it for multiplayer. But Life is Strange.
I'll watch it.
I can't say... I'd prefer it if you play it.
Alright, fair enough.
I would
Sorry.
really prefer it if you played it. Because, yes, Telltale's... Telltale has that whole thing of like where your choices actually matter. I feel like Life is Strange, your choices actually matter.
Definitely.
So, I don't know if you guys agree with that or not, but Life is Strange. I honestly can't say too much good about it, because if it's my game of the year and I convince somebody to play it, then they might not think it's game of the year, and so on and so forth. But seriously, my personal game of the year so far, and I don't see anything overtaking it but Persona and maybe Pokemon, is Life is Strange.
The game is episodic, right?
It's episodic. There are 5 episodes. 2 of them are out. May is when episode 3 is released. We don't know exactly when, though.
I'm not trying to ruin it here, but it could be a Walking Dead thing where there might be a train wreck on episode 4? Because episode 4...
Okay, I'm gonna interrupt you right there.
Go for
I
it.
loved episode 4 for everything that Telltale has done so far.
Fair enough.
Everybody says episode 4 is the worst episode.
Right.
But I disagree with you. I love episode. I think it's actually the best episode.
I'm just saying that those are the global opinions, and there are some points they validly make that make it technically the worst, but they're still good, nevertheless.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. But again, only episode 3 is out. I mean, it's coming out. But
3
Life is Strange. The way episode 2 ended, there's multiple endings. I'm not doing the spoilers.
Okay.
But there's the 2 big endings, and all I'm gonna say is it has to do with Kate Marsh.
Oh, so now there's multiple endings for these episodes.
Absolutely.
Oh God.
Absolutely. Like I said, your choices matter.
Oh boy.
But that is my freaking game of the year. I honestly can't say enough. I can't find anything more beautiful than that. Really.
Who developed it?
It is it is developed by Don't Nod Entertainment, which is the same company that made the AAA game of 2013 or 2012. Remember Me. It's
Remember Me.
Yeah, it's Remember Me. It's developed by Square Enix. I mean, not developed. It's published by Square Enix, but it is developed by Don't Nod Entertainment.
Do you think they'll announce?
Don't Nod went to many different developers with the story, and Ubisoft said if you were to change the main character to a guy, they would have been all for it. But then they're like, I don't want to. So they went to Square, and Square was like, here's money, do it.
Here's money.
So, I can't say enough good about this game.
It's
I
really
can't.
wrestling your jimmies there.
It really is. I love this game.
Yeah.
And if I'm overhyping this, I really apologize. I really am. So
you're one of the most honest people when it comes to game reviewing. So I'm like, it's not too overhyping. It's just it's honest opinion, and I take your opinion seriously.
Okay. All right, well, guys, that was the first ever episode of the We're All Idiots podcast, WAIP. You guys want to plug anything?
Can it just be something random?
Yes.
Plug something random.
Okay. So in like Star Wars Battlefront 2, one of my favorite things, I know a lot of people don't like this, but when you are the Empire and when you're the Stormtroopers, just like you're gonna go up and do all your stuff. But anyways, I'm just gonna get straight to the point. So when you kill enough people, you unlock like your soldiers and all that.
Yeah.
But then, guess who comes out on the Death Star? Emperor Palpatine. Who doesn't like him when he floats around and kills people with a little lightsaber and uses his awesome lightning. So that's all I want to throw out.
All right. Well, I guess we're not going to plug any. Okay, Mikey.
One quick thing. This is a reference to a second podcast I do. Stunfisk rules. Lotad sucks. Get fucked, Riku. Sorry.
Mikey is a member of another podcast. What is your podcast?
Radio Whirlwind, where we are a Pokemon shifting to video games in general, but prioritizing Pokemon.
Okay.
We try to unite the community. Check it out if you guys want. I will gladly advertise.
Yes, please
podcast.
do.
I will. Just give me a YouTube, and I will definitely advertise saying, I'm a part of this. Check it out. We got some great guys here. This has been an honor. Thank you, Jeremiah Doyle, for letting me join here.
All right. Well, for our Nintendo idiot, Mike McLaughlin.
Hi.
Our FPS idiot, Aaron Smith.
Yep.
And our JRPG idiot, Anthony Trujillo.
Really?
I was your host, idiot. Thank you for listening to the first ever episode of the We're All Idiots podcast. So for all of us, have a good one.
I just want you to love me.
See ya.